Today in Taipei, are we ready for Typhoon Bavi's impact on our daily lives? I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Taipei. First up, Typhoon Bavi threatens overflow of Hualien Barrier Lake. The lake on the Wanli River is at about 70% capacity as the storm approaches. A barrier lake is basically a lake formed when debris or landslides block a river. This one sits uncomfortably close to a major electricity hub that is a cluster of power facilities that keep the grid running. So officials stepped up monitoring with a new Japanese buoy sensor. A buoy is a floating device anchored in place. This one pings the water level every 10 minutes. It was installed yesterday with help from the National Airborne Service Corps, which is the government's aviation support unit for rescue and logistics. Evacuation plans are being coordinated because if a breach happens, the power infrastructure nearby could be affected fast.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. I'm not going to lie, that's urgent. Real-time readings every 10 minutes are solid, but the big question is whether the natural dam behind that lake holds under heavy rain and inflow. Infrastructure near a power hub is a high-stakes zone. If water spills, you get flood risk and potential power disruptions. Advanced sensors are like the early warning eyes here. The faster the data, the faster crews can move people and equipment. That's pretty cool, right? It only works if response teams are ready to act immediately. Next up, Typhoon Bavi grounds over 400 flights across Taiwan. The Civil Aeronautics Administration, which is Taiwan's aviation regulator, says about 154 domestic and 261 international flights are canceled. Major airports feeling it include Taoyuan, Songshan, and Kaohsiung. Airlines have to balance safety and capacity in storms, meaning they sometimes pre-cancel to avoid last-minute chaos. And speaking of safety, Danjiang Bridge at the Tamsui River estuary, the river's mouth, was set to close in stages as a precaution. Pedestrian, bike, and scooter lanes at 8 p.m., followed by main traffic lanes at 11 p.m. Even though the bridge is designed for severe weather, sudden crosswinds on an exposed span are no joke.
Totally get it. Transportation networks are showing their homework here. Clear pre-cancellations give travelers time to rebook, and precise bridge closure times reduce guesswork on the roads. Safety over convenience, every time. And just to define one term we throw around a lot in typhoon season, operational capacity is simply how many flights or services can safely run given the weather and staffing. When the storm track shifts, that capacity can drop suddenly. So, transparent updates from airlines and transport agencies are the difference between orderly changes and confusion. Next up, work and school suspensions announced in northern Taiwan due to Typhoon Bavi. The Central Weather Administration, Taiwan's Weather Bureau, issued a sea warning. Local governments in Greater Taipei, Keelung, Taoyuan, and Hsinchu moved to suspend work and classes. The point is straightforward. Timely announcements reduce travel during the most dangerous windows, which lowers accident risk and keeps roads clearer for emergency vehicles. The coordination across regions matters, because commuting crosses city lines.
Yeah, that checks out. Proactive calls like this are effective. Early clarity lets hospitals, utilities, and road crews set staffing. Timely communication is the backbone of public safety. If fewer people are on the roads when the gusts peak, first responders move faster. Simple as that. Next up, Tainan prepares for Typhoon Bavi with possible Saturday closures. Mayor Huang Wei-che, the mayor of Tainan, inspected flood control works in vulnerable districts. Projects include a coastal barrier in Jiangjun and upgraded drainage in Chigu and Jiali, all coastal or low-lying areas. The city accelerated water management upgrades after Typhoon Danas in 2025 caused damage. That's a classic lesson learned. Invest after impact, then maintain. One quick definition: a wind field is the area covered by strong winds around a storm. Even if Bavi trends north, the wide wind field can still push surge and heavy bands of rain into the south.
Let's get to the heart of it. Infrastructure improvements are the long game. Drainage upgrades sound boring until a neighborhood doesn't flood. And coastal barriers are like speed bumps for waves. They reduce the force that reaches inland. I do have a why, though. Why keep accelerating projects if the forecast points north? because the risk isn't binary. Storms wobble, rain bands drift, tides amplify surge. Continual investment means fewer last-minute scrambles and better odds when the unexpected hits. Last up, AI technology assists Taipei's Typhoon Bavi preparedness. Taipei rolled out an AI-powered outreach system that automatically calls 10,400 registered elderly residents who live alone. It runs in Mandarin, categorizes responses, and flags high-risk cases for follow-up by social workers. The Social Welfare Commissioner Yao Shuwen, who leads the city's social services, says the goal is to blend AI with on-site visits. The big win is speed. The system saves roughly 10 minutes per case, compared with manual calls, which adds up fast during a storm.
I'm all about that. In an emergency, minutes matter. Using AI here is basically triage at scale, quickly sorting who's fine, who needs a check-in, and who needs help now. Tech doesn't replace people. It routes people to where they're needed most. That's something to chew on, huh? Innovation feels abstract until it turns into a knock on the right door at the right time.
All right, that ties it up nicely.
Thanks for tuning into Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Taipei. Stay safe and join us again tomorrow.